Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. This is Divas Week. So today's 2 for Tuesday. You are going to get 2 videos on these fabulous Hollywood divas. So Hollywood has seen plenty of rivalries, but none is quite as iconic as this particular one. This was a decades-long feud between Joan Crawford and Bette Davis. The two powerhouse performers clashed both on and off screen. Most famously during the filming of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane in 1962, which I think added to the tension and the drama in that movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's wild. But was this just ego? Was something deeper at play? Power, pain, past lives? Maybe there was some karmic friction going on. Today, we're going to dive into the psychic energy of both of them. We're also going to look at how their diva magic affected Hollywood then and today. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, Tarot fam. I am Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And we are going to talk about Joan Crawford first. Joan Crawford is actually a favorite of mine. I did promise that I was going to bring my wire hanger, my artist wire hanger down here. I forgot to do it, so I will post it up tomorrow in a community post. You're going to see it. It's an amazing piece of artwork by an artist named Sue Tumblety, who I actually worked with once upon a time in a nail salon of all things. She did artwork on people's nails. She did portraits on their nails, but she's an amazing artist. And I was delighted that someone gave this to me as a gift. And I said, oh, it was from Sue Tumblety. But let's talk about Joan Crawford. So I have a very distinct opinion of Joan Crawford. I actually like Joan Crawford. She was a gal's gal before it was really hip to do that. I think she was a hard-working mama in a man's world. I don't think she really got the credit for her ambition, which I do think was channeled properly given the time. And I think a lot of men were put off by that masculine energy that she carried, because she did carry some masculine energy with her. Before you start talking about Mommy Dearest, I did read the original tome from Christina Crawford. I have an old copy of it. It's not a first edition or anything like that, but that book is a hit piece. It's a hit piece. If you don't know anything about Joan Crawford, there were actually 4 children. There were 2 little girls that were adopted after Christina and Christopher. They were not siblings, but they referred to them as the twins because they were the same age within the family. Those 2 gals were the ones who inherited the bulk of Joan Crawford's estate, and they said she was a terrific mother. They said she was very strict. They said she was terrific. The fact that the Christina Crawford book came out after she passed away really is a hit piece. Like, she could have been sued had her mother still been alive. So we're going to talk about Joan first. But before I bring up the cards, as always, I want you to hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. We're a great tribe over here, and we have lots of new subscribers. Hi to you guys. Memberships are going up as well. And I do want to remind everyone, if you're a member, you get entered into a drawing every month. So you get a free reading from me. So if you want to become a member, I'm going to have that drawing coming up this month. You do have to be in the live in order to be eligible for the free reading. And I do honor them for some time. So, it's a chance to get something free. Who doesn't like something free? I want to remind everybody, my ambassadorship with Otter Spirit is still going strong. We are going to keep that link up for a month. It is a new ambassadorship that I'm doing. And I get hit up all the time by companies, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And yes, it is like, affiliate marketing, but this is a company that I really do like their products, and I am going to freshen up my my accessory supply with some of their stuff as we get further into this summer. I'm totally stoked. There's a watermelon bracelet that I totally want to get. So let's start talking about Joan Crawford. I'm bringing up those cards. Hit the like button. Let's go, Tarot fam. I'm going to keep my face up today. I don't always do that, but I'm going to do it today. So Joan Crawford, what was what did Joan truly feel about Bette Davis during their career? I honestly, I don't know if this was a manufactured feud. It may well could have been, because Hollywood back in the day was known for organizing relationships, marriages. They adopted children out. There were starlets that were forced to have children in secret and give them away and do other things, get rid of children in other ways. I'm not allowed to say that word. This could have been a manufactured fight to build that tension. The movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, is kind of like that. It is about jealousy of one sister to the other. So what did Joan truly feel about Bette Davis during their careers? 4 of Wands, rock solid. 3 of I want to work with her. 2 of Pentacles. Again, we're using the Pulp Tarot. I always list the decks that I use during the week, guys, for you all, because I know I like to purchase extra decks. They are Amazon affiliate links. I apparently am taking some criticism because of that, but the reality is I do it in case you guys want to get them, not because I'm trying to get people to buy tarot cards. So how did she truly feel about Bette Davis during their careers? Well, she thought she was a rock solid actress. That's what she thought. She thought she had talent, but I don't want to work with her. The relationship was tedious. And what I mean by that is that they were well matched intellectually and with their barbs. They were very well matched. So if they did get into a room together and they were going back and forth, I think it would be like watching a really amazing tennis match, but it would escalate. So it'd be like Andre Agassi playing against himself and just escalating. Tom McNamara, thank you.
John McEnroe.
John McEnroe. Did they not like each other?
No, just that they were both very fiery personalities in tennis.
I think they liked each other, didn't they?
They probably did.
All of a sudden, I was like, weren't they both married to Brooke Shields? But no, John McEnroe was with Tatum O'Neal.
Yes.
That didn't go well.
No.
Yeah, that went poorly. So she did. I do think that Joan had a lot of respect for Betty's ability. And if it weren't for that terrible personality she had, I think that was really her attitude. Good actress, terrible personality. Can't stand her. It's a good thing she's on film, because who could stand her in real life? So I do think that was her attitude. And I think once Baby Jane happened, I think she was like, I'll never be on film with her again, ever. I'll never do that again. I think she was, well, how did she feel about Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? 5 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, Queen of Swords. She thought she gave a better performance, but she did think it was a good performance all around. So was Joan jealous, threatened, or just trying to maintain control? Famously, Joan kind of waxed and waned in popularity and box office poison. Bring me the axe. Why don't I have my sweatshirt on, Greg?
I don't know.
I should have my sweatshirt on.
I don't know why you don't do the half thing you do.
Huh?
You should have done your makeup like Joan Crawford.
Oh, the hair would be a trick. My hair looks good today. So was Joan jealous, threatened, or just trying to maintain her balance in Hollywood as an aging? I know she probably just turned over in her grave. So was she jealous? Queen of Wands, threatened, lovers in reverse, trying to keep control, 9 of Cups. Bingo, bingo, bingo. So I do think she was threatened by the roles that Bette was getting, oddly enough. I don't know a lot about Bette Davis's catalog, but I think she was threatened by some of the roles that she was getting and some of the associations with Hollywood bigwigs. I think Bette was a bit easier of a pill to swallow. I think she knew how to kind of sweeten it up, and I don't think Joan Crawford knew. She was very sexy. She was really sexy, but it was in a very forward and kind of domineering kind of way. She was very, very clear about her intentions, where I think Bette Davis was a little bit more subtle in terms of that. Jealous, Queen of Wands. There was something about the way Bette did things, and perhaps it was that element of softness, that she could be a little bit softer, that Joan was a bit jealous of. So I think a little combination of all three, but I think ultimately that 9 of Cups, the 9 of Cups is trying to keep control over my career, keep control over my situation, make sure that I am the top banana. I'm the starlet in the room. That kind of energy there, kids. So what moment triggered the worst of their rivalry? So I believe, I declare that neither of these women are Southern. I don't know why I went into that Southern voice, but Mr. Buttercup. I think that Bette Davis made a statement about Joan Crawford. Now, this is not like the lore. This is from the inside of Joan out. I think Bette Davis made a comment about her that was a very broad brush kind of insult. And I think it nailed an insecurity on Joan. And I think it rocked her foundation a little bit. So I think that was it. I think there was a moment where Bette Davis just went a little too far. You know how like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are real teasy, or they were when they were fun on X or Twitter, as it was in the day. I think that she just went a little too far.
With the expression cut too close to the
quick. Yes, they were a little catty, weren't they? So, did she ever seek reconciliation, even privately, before her passing? Did she ever seek reconciliation before her passing? The Hierophant. Yeah, but she didn't tell her. She didn't tell Bette Davis. She told other people, I always thought she was an amazing actress. Like, so some, dramatic kind of thing. I expect nothing less from the great Joan Crawford. Nothing less. She would never even think about telling that woman that she was contrite at all. I'd rather, not say it to her. Somebody else can say it after I'm dead. My ghost will deny it. So, and again, I'm going to quote, what is it? Colleen or Callahan, Megyn Kelly's friend. She quoted someone else. I don't know who said this, but write it, say it, forget it, write it, regret it. So I think that is what happened. She said it to someone. She said it to someone in power who probably relayed that information at some point. Somebody she knew was going to do it. Our best triangulators do that. We all know how those people work. And here she was like, I will never give her any quarter. I will never let her feel good about this. And here it made Joan feel better. I'm sorry that you feel I owe you an apology.
Sorry you feel the need.
So, yeah, but it made Joan feel better. I've made my peace with her. I told her she was a stumpy twit, but I've made my peace with it. Was there a karmic contract between these ladies? I hope you guys are having fun with this. Let me know in the comments what you think the beef was between them. You know, was it just two beautiful women in the room? Sometimes you have problems with that. But was there a karmic contract between these ladies that would stir up this drama? Was there anything karmic there? Let's see. King of Wands, Death card in the upright, King in reverse, and the Eight of Swords. I do think that there was a karmic replay in this sense where they were both vying for a similar position. Now, I do think in the previous life experience, I think that they both were not successful. And they were both vying for that success. It doesn't have to be in Hollywood, could be in anything. They could have been pig farmers, who knows? But here they are now given a different setting and different abilities to try and change that. Did they? Nope, didn't work. So even if Joan Crawford whispered in someone's ears, I never hated Bette, I actually loved her, that doesn't count. It was lip service. So let's talk, because we're talking about divas all week. So Joan Crawford, how did she view her own beauty and power when she was alive? Four of Cups, the Fool. She really saw herself as a revolutionary person. 10 of Cups. She's very pleased with it. And she does think with this Page of Pentacles that she set the pace for other women to come after her. I'm going to agree. I am going to agree. I think that Mildred Pierce is such an amazing performance. If you haven't seen it, go watch Mildred Pierce. It is acting.
Brilliant.
Thank you. So she saw herself as not soft and sweet. Now, and I think it's funny because this gal looks a little bit like Clara Bow. She wanted to not be a floaty adrift on the tides of Hollywood. She wanted to be this bold adventurer. She wanted to go in there. She saw the lack of power and control of the actresses and women in Hollywood before her, and she used just enough of her feminine wiles, talking about the casting couch here, were just enough of that to get to a point where she could say, I'm not doing that anymore. My body is for my pleasure. I am going to be the man. I do think that, and there's all kinds of talk about her possibly having same-sex relationships and whatnot. Now, I don't want to dive into that, but I do think that she emulated, I think she acted like the men in Hollywood around her, which is wild. 10 of Cups here. She was pleased with what she did. She was pleased with how she acted. Under the surface, she was a change maker. She was a born change maker. This was going to happen whether we wanted it to or not. So if she went to go work at some hamburger stand in Santa Monica, she probably would have had the same kind of chutzpah that we're seeing here. So yes, absolutely. She viewed her own beauty and power together as change makers. What energetic archetype did she embody for women in the golden age of Hollywood? And I'm wondering, should I pull a Hydesville Tarot? I'm going to pull a Hydesville Tarot. I don't have this deck out, but let's pull one out. This is a major arcana deck, guys. I don't have it listed on the description of this video, but you can go find it on Etsy someplace if you look for it. Again, Hydesville Tarot. Take a snapshot. So, what was the archetype she embodied? And we did just get the Fool card. And I'm hoping it's going to come up as the Fool, but we're probably going to get a different dimension of it. The Fool in Judgment, judging about changing the circumstances that we are dealing with in Hollywood. She wanted to change that for other people. So I think that's a good thing. I'm going to have to leave that Hydesville Tarot out just in case I need it some more. Oh. Did she intentionally use glamour as a form of control? did she use glamour to create boundaries and control? Nine of Cups, Four of Swords, Empress underneath, Knight of Cups in reverse. I want to say yes. Being beautiful was more of a job for her. She did not really enjoy the process of getting pretty. The process of getting pretty is really fun, like especially if you've been sick for a few days, or if you're coming from the gym, like the process of getting pretty is very fun. It's like, oh, let me do that. Oh, let me contour a little bit more there. I know I have like pretty involved beauty rituals, and I've got all kinds of tools and creams and serums and fun stuff, and I like to try different things.
A bit too much blood and glitter.
Blood and glitter? There's no blood involved, but I do love glitter. I love glitter. I like glitter. So she didn't enjoy that process of getting beautiful, the process of going through all of it. It was more of a task for her. And I think there was some element of her saying, that the beauty wasn't necessarily a form of control. It was more of the landscaping. I hate to say landscaping because I don't want you guys to think of something else, but it was more like the landscaping in front of the building. The building is still sound. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. You're here for my ability to convey a story. So now I don't think that the Mommy Dearest story is accurate. I've done my research, but let's let the cards discuss the image that Christina Crawford crafted of her mother. Mommy Dearest, no more wire hangers. Figure it out. Clean up this mess. How'd I do?
Yeah.
Bring me Hex, Christina. Was Christina Crawford's depiction of her mother accurate to what her mother was like? Six of Cups, fond memories from the past. This would be in reverse if she was horrible. Judgment, there we go, guys, from the dead. Devil in reverse. And the Magician, she modified the story. So I'm just going with it. So here, childhood was fairly good, fairly happy. Judgment about how it was handled once the devil was gone. She decided she was going to affix a different story to her. So there you go. That's how I read that. If you guys read it differently, if you're readers, let me know in the comments. So what energy does Joan still contribute to Hollywood's diva energy field today? What kind of energy does she still contribute? Is she still an effective energy source? Oh, mommy. The Emperor, the Star, Five of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and the Empress. So the Empress in reverse, the mother in reverse. So she does represent a woman that took control of her career and really grabbed the bull by the horns in the face of adversity. She did, after getting dropped from Metro, she still went on to achieve great acclaim. And did she get an Oscar after that? I think she did get an Oscar after that. My timeline may be a little bit off, but Three of Pentacles, leaving behind the stepping stones, the being the apprentice here, which in Joan's day in Hollywood, that meant getting your back to the couch. So you know what I mean, kids, right? So I do think, her warning is no one ever got anywhere with their back in the couch. That's what we're going to say from now on. But this kind of very masculine energy, and I said that earlier, the Emperor is an extremely masculine energy. It's a Mars energy. It's Aries. It's fire. It is decision making. It is also, if you look at this gentleman, it is the velvet robes with the armor underneath. So velvet fist in an iron, iron fist and a velvet glove. I almost said that wrong. I said the same thing for the strength card.
Leather glove.
Iron fist and a velvet glove. What you talking about, Willis? So here, fame does not come fast. It is hard work that goes into it with plenty of disappointment.
Velvet fist sounds like a gay bar.
What's that?
The velvet fist sounds like a gay bar.
It does.
Great name.
Okay. So the Empress in reverse is about sometimes these are the sacrifices that one needs to make. So one final question. Oh, Joan. How would Joan want us to view her today? Ace of Wands, fire starter. Eight of Pentacles, hard worker. So not only does hard work, showing up for the job, working hard, there is a path to success. She wants people to know that that is how she ran her thing. She worked outside of the lines. She did not want to be pinned down as any one type of thing. She wanted to be seen as a brilliant businesswoman, as a brilliant actress, as a household manager. She's fastidious about the way that her and her staff ran the house. Hence the Mommy Dearest movie. So I do think here the Knight of Pentacles, this is not being quite so worried about the money that comes in. I do think this is like her saying, like, don't be the influencer, like, don't go that influencer way. If you are an actor and you want to be an actor, be an actor. If you want to be a writer, director, producer, do those things. But don't go the influencer route. So very interesting energy from our gal here. So with that, we are going to take leave of the fabulous Joan Crawford, and we're going to move on in video 2 to Bette Davis. So I'll see you in a little bit for that. There'll be a link, and I'm going to hook these videos together so you can go right over to the other one. I think I'm going to run them back to back. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thanks so much for watching. Ta-ta for now.